Success only belongs to the ones who are obsessed with it. That's the starting point. The title says it all. How to be obsessed with success. Think about it for yourself. How many times have you wanted something badly, but stopped halfway? How many days have you let slip, knowing you could have done more? The truth is, success doesn't come to people who treat it casually. It comes to those who make it their focus, their standard, their way of living. In this video, you're not going to hear theory or empty talk. You'll hear how to commit fully, how to work with energy, how to stay consistent, and how to keep improving until success is not just a dream, but your reality. If you've been waiting for a clear push, this is it. Stay here, because what follows can change how you live from this day forward. Number 1, commit fully and never quit until success is real. When you decide to go after success, the very first rule is commitment. Commitment is not saying you want something and then walking away when it becomes difficult. Commitment is making a promise to yourself that you will stay in the game until what you want becomes real. Most people quit too soon. They start with energy, but the moment life puts pressure on them, they stop. That's not commitment. That's interest. Success does not answer to interest. Success answers to those who are willing to prove they mean it by refusing to quit. When you commit fully, you draw a line for yourself. You are telling your mind, your emotions, and your habits that there is no turning back. It's the point where you decide, I will stay in this until it's done. That changes how you act. You no longer look for shortcuts. You no longer expect easy days. You stop searching for a way out. Your full focus shifts to finding ways to make progress. This is the psychology of people who win. They have burned the idea of giving up out of their system. Now, commitment is not a word you say once. It's something you prove every single day. You prove it in how you wake up. You prove it in how you work when nobody is watching. You prove it in how you push through boredom. You prove it in how you keep moving when the results are not showing yet. That is when most people fold. They expect fast results. They want the reward without the grind. But if you want to be obsessed with success, you cannot afford that kind of thinking. You must be willing to stay long enough for your work to show. Think about this truth. You cannot quit and win at the same time. It's impossible. The people who succeed are not always the most talented. They are not always the ones with the best resources. Often, they are simply the ones who refuse to quit. They kept showing up when others stopped. They endured longer. They believed longer. They gave more hours. They kept their promise to themselves. And when you commit like that, eventually success is forced to give in. But here's what you must understand about full commitment. It comes with sacrifice. You cannot commit halfway and expect full results. You cannot give 50% effort and expect 100% reward. To commit fully means you will give up certain comforts. You will lose some evenings. You will spend hours others waste. You will say no to things that don't match your goal. You will face pressure. You will feel lonely sometimes. You will question yourself. And that is normal. That is the price. If you are willing to pay it, success will be yours. If you're not willing, then you are only wishing, not committing. Commitment also means discipline. It's easy to say you will not quit, but it takes discipline to follow through every day. Discipline means you do what you said you would do, even when your feelings change. Feelings will tell you to stop. Feelings will tell you it's too much. But discipline answers, I made a promise to myself, and I will keep it. That kind of discipline makes you unstoppable, because it breaks the power of excuses. Excuses cannot survive in the mind of someone truly committed. Now think of how powerful this is. If you make the decision to never quit until success is real, you remove the option of quitting from your life. That alone will make you stronger than most. Because most people leave the door open. They say they'll try, but if it doesn't work fast, they'll walk away. You must close that door completely. Your only options are to work, improve, adjust, and keep going. That level of commitment creates a different kind of energy. It fuels obsession. It forces you to find solutions. It's you to grow. And remember, success is not a single event. It's not something you achieve once and never work on again. Success is it every day. You may win today, but tomorrow, you must still commit again. Every morning you wake up, the choice is repeated. Will you stay committed, or will you let go? If you want a life of success, your answer must be the same every day. Stay in the fight until it's real. There will be days when nothing seems to move. You will give your best and see no change. That is where people lose heart. But those days are the test. That is where commitment is proved. Anyone can commit when things go well, but the real test is when you get no applause, no progress, no no's, yet you continue. That is when you prove you are not doing this just for the easy moments. That is when you show that you are obsessed with reaching the finish line. Commit fully also means you must stop comparing yourself with others. Comparison steals commitment. If you keep looking at what others have already achieved, you may feel like quitting because your progress looks small. But obsession with success is about your race, not there. Your job is to give your best every day and hold your line. If you stay in it, you will get there. If you quit, you will never see it. So how do you practice this commitment in daily life? You begin with small promises. Wake up when you said you would wake up. Do the work you said you would do. Finish the task before you relax. Keep these small promises, and you build trust with yourself. Over time, this trust grows into massive confidence. You start to believe your own word again. That belief makes it easier to commit to bigger goals. People lose confidence because they keep breaking their own promises. Stop doing that. When you commit, follow through. That will change your psychology. Another part of commitment is patience. Success does not happen overnight. If you expect fast results, you will always quit too soon. Patience is not waiting without action. Patience is staying active while trusting the process. Keep moving forward and trust that results will come in time. If you plant the seed and water it daily, it will grow. But if you keep digging it up to check progress, you destroy it. In the same way, your success needs time and care. Stay consistent. Don't pull out halfway. You also need resilience. Life will hit you. Obstacles will show up. People will doubt you. Circumstances will not always be in your favor. But when you are committed, these challenges cannot stop you. You may bend, but you don't break. You may fall, but you rise again. Quitting is never an option, because you've already decided success is the only finish line. That mindset makes you unbeatable. Now imagine how powerful your life becomes with this kind of mindset. Imagine waking up every day knowing there is no backup plan, no quit button, only forward. That level of clarity gives you freedom. You are no longer trapped by fear of failure, because you've already accepted the only path is through. Failure will just be a lesson. Delay will just be part of the process. Nothing can stop a person like that. This is what it means to be obsessed with success. You are not casual about it. You are not halfway in. You are fully invested. Your time, your energy, your thoughts, your habits, they all align with your goal. And when you live this way, eventually the results catch up. It may take months. It may take years, but it will happen, because success cannot deny someone who refuses to quit. So here is the truth you must take with you. Commitment is the starting point, the middle point, the finishing point of success. Without it, you will stop halfway. With it, you will move mountains. Decide today that you will not quit until success is real. Make it your standard, and then every day, back it up with action. That decision will change your entire life. This is the difference between people who dream and people who achieve. Those who dream say they want success, but leave the door open for those who achieve. Shut the door and throw away the key. They stay in it no matter what. They push through pain, doubt, and delay. They work until success becomes real. That is the obsession you must build if you want to live the life you imagine. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have every answer. You just need to commit fully and never quit. Because once you remove the option of quitting, you will find a way forward every single time. And with each step, your strength will grow, your results will multiply, and your success will move from dream to reality. That is the power of full commitment, and that is how you build an obsession with success that nothing in life can break. Number 2, work with intensity and never waste your daily hours. If you want to be obsessed with success, you must learn to work with intensity and treat every single hour as a piece of your life. you can never get back. Time is not something you can borrow and return later. Once today passes, it is gone forever. The hours you waste will not come back. And the difference between people who achieve extraordinary results and people who stay average is not always talent or luck. It's how they use their hours. Successful people attack their days with energy, while others drift through them carelessly. Intensity means being fully present in what you are doing. It means giving your best effort instead of half effort. Many people sit at a desk for 8 hours, but only give 2 hours of actual work. The rest is lost to distractions, scrolling, small talk, or waiting for motivation. That is how life is wasted. Intensity is the opposite. Intensity is showing up and saying, this hour matters. This task deserves my full attention. When you practice intensity, you compress years of progress into months. You advance faster because you are not leaking time. When you work with intensity, you begin to notice something powerful: clarity. Your mind sharpens. You get more done in a single focused hour than others do in an entire day. And that is how advantage is built. Success is not about one huge breakthrough. It is about stacking productive hours on top of each other until they create results too big to ignore. The problem is, most people don't value their hours. They treat time like it is unlimited. They say they'll do it tomorrow. They keep postponing until their lives become a chain of wasted days. To be obsessed with success, you must decide that wasting hours is no longer an option. You cannot afford to drift. Every wasted hour takes you further from your goals. Ask yourself honestly, how much time do you lose each day to meaningless activity? How often do you sit down to work but get lost in distractions? How often do you delay a task you could have finished? Those little losses pile up. A few wasted hours a day turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months, and soon years have gone with nothing to show for them. Intensity is built by habit. You cannot simply wish to be intense. You must train yourself to operate with urgency. Start by structuring your day around your priorities. Decide what must be done and block time for it. When that time comes, attack the task with full force. No checking your phone, no idle thoughts, no unnecessary breaks, just pure focus until the job is complete. This is how you create momentum. Each focused hour gives you the cadence to continue. Soon, working with intensity becomes normal for you. Think of how powerful it feels when you end the day knowing you gave everything. Compare that with the guilt of wasted time. The energy of achievement always feels better than the comfort of laziness. People forget this truth because they chase short-term relief. They choose scrolling over working. They choose gossip over learning. They choose sitting back over building forward. And in the moment, it feels easy. But when the day ends, they feel empty. Success demands the opposite. It demands the satisfaction of intensity, the pride of progress, and the discipline of using hours wisely. There is also a psychology behind working with intensity. When you go all in on your work, you build identity. You begin to see yourself as someone serious, someone reliable, someone unstoppable. That identity shapes your future choices. You stop tolerating wasted days because they no longer match who you are. You start pushing harder because you believe that is what you do. And slowly, you become a person who others respect, trust, and admire because your results prove your effort. You may say, but I get tired. Everyone gets tired. Intensity does not mean working without rest. It means working without waste. There is a big difference. Rest is necessary. Sleep is necessary. Even relaxation has a place. But wasting time on things that add no value, that is a choice you cannot allow yourself to make if you want real success. Rest when it is time to rest. Work when it is time to work. Confusing the two is what ruins progress. Working with intensity also means cutting out the small leaks of time that drain your life. 10 minutes wasted here, 20 minutes wasted there, checking your phone every few minutes, browsing without purpose, talking without reason. These small leaks add up to hours each day. You must seal those leaks. Imagine what you could achieve if you redirected even half of that wasted time into learning, building, or improving yourself. That alone could change your life in a year. Another important truth: working with intensity requires you to love progress more than comfort. Comfort will always whisper to you. It will say, take it easy, do it later, don't push so hard. But intensity answers, this hour matters. I refuse to waste it. When you train yourself to choose progress over comfort consistently, you build a lifestyle of success. Obsession grows from that choice repeated daily. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you gave the next 12 months of your life with complete intensity? What if you wasted no hours? What if you attacked every day with focus, purpose, and urge? Imagine the skills you would master, the results you would achieve, the confidence you would build. That is what separates an average life from an extraordinary one. Working with intensity also impacts how people see you. When others notice your focus, your drive, your results, they begin to respect your effort. Opportunities open because people trust those who deliver. No one trusts wasted potential. But intensity proves you are serious, and seriousness attracts more chance. In the world of business, relationships, or personal growth, people want to work with those who show they value their hours. Now, how do you maintain intensity over the long run? By remembering why you started. If your reason is strong, your energy will stay alive. Weak reasons create weak effort. Strong reasons fuel unstoppable effort. Every morning, remind yourself of the future you are chasing. See it clearly in your mind. Then attack your hours as if they are the bridge to that future. Because they are. You must also measure your time. Track how you spend your hour. Review your days honestly. Ask yourself, did I waste time today? Did I give full energy? Did I move closer to my goals? This reflection builds awareness, and awareness creates change. Many people live unconsciously. They don't even notice how much time slips away. When you track, you wake up. You become aware of the cost, wasted hours, and that awareness pushes you to protect your time fiercely. Intensity is not just about speed, it's about depth. When you give deep focus, you reach levels others never touch. You understand problems better. You master skills faster. You produce work of higher quality. Shallow effort creates shallow results. Deep effort creates lasting results. That is why working with intensity is not about doing more. It is about doing better with the time you already have. One more truth. Intensity creates fulfillment. At the end of the day, human beings are wired to feel satisfied when they progress. It gives the same feeling as knowing you moved forward. Even small wins bring joy. But if you waste hours, you feel regret. And regret is heavy. Regret steals your spirit. Intensity protects you from regret because you know you gave your best. So make this decision today. Every hour counts. Every task deserves your focus. Every day is a piece of your life. Refuse to waste it. Work with urgency. Work with fire. Work like success depends on it. Because it does. Your hours are your life in pieces. Use them with intensity, and you will build a faith worth living. This is how you become obsessed with success. Not by dreaming, not by talking, but by attacking every single hour with focus, discipline, and energy. 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, until the results you desire become your reality. Number 3. Set bold goals and chase them with daily discipline. Success starts with a target that demands your full attention. If you aim small, you will live small. If you set goals that are safe, you will get results that are ordinary. To be obsessed with success, you must set bold goals that challenge you to rise above your current level. A bold goal is one that excites you and scares you at the same time. It forces you to stretch your thinking, change your habits, and step into a bigger version of yourself. Without bold goals, life becomes routine, predictable, and uninspiring. With them, life becomes purposeful. But a goal by itself is never enough. Many people write down big dreams, but then they do nothing about them. They talk about what they want, but they never build the discipline to chase it every single day. Bold goals without daily discipline are only fantasies. Real goals require action. They require structure. They demand that you wake up with a plan and follow through regardless of your feeling. The distance between wanting success and achieving it is filled with daily discipline. Discipline is about proving that your word matters. When you set a bold goal, you're making a promise to yourself. Discipline is how you keep that promise. Every day that you take action, you reinforce your belief in yourself. Every day that you skip your commitment, you weaken that belief. Success requires that you trust yourself, and trust is built through discipline. When you know you can depend on yourself to show up, you gain confidence. That confidence pushes you to aim even higher. Most people avoid bold goals because they fear failing. But failure is not the enemy. The real enemy is a life of smallness, where you never test your limits. Failure teaches, failure guides, and failure builds resilience. When you combine bold goals with daily discipline, even failure cannot stop you, because discipline keeps you in the game long enough to learn and adjust. If you never quit, failure becomes temporary. Discipline does not mean you have to do everything at once. It means you consistently do the small actions that push your goal forward. It's not about finishing the race in one step. It's about taking steps every single day until you cross the finish line. 1 hour of focused work every day can transform your life over time. 1 book read daily can change your knowledge. 1 workout completed daily can transform your health. The point is not perfection. The point is consistency. Bold goals give you direction. Discipline gives you momentum. Without goals, your energy is scattered. Without discipline, your goals are wasted. Together, they create progress. Every morning you wake up, your bold goals remind you where to go. Your discipline ensures that you keep moving toward them. Over weeks and months, the compound effect of that discipline becomes visible. The person you were when you started no longer exists. You have grown into someone new, someone capable of more. There's also power in writing your goals down. When you write, you make them real. They are no longer floating in your mind. They become physical commitment. Keep those goals in front of you daily. Read them. Remind yourself why they matter. This repetition programs your mind to focus on them. Where your focus goes, your energy follows. If you forget your goals, you will fall into distractions. Keep them alive by reviewing them constantly. Another key point: bold goals require bold habits. If you want something extraordinary, your daily actions cannot be ordinary. Look closely at your habits. Do they align with the future you yearn? If not, replace them. Discipline means saying no to habits that weaken you, and yes to habits that strengthen you. Every small action either aids your future or destroys it. When you stay aware of this truth, you become intentional about how you spend your time. It is important to create systems that support your discipline. Relying only on motivation will not work. Motivation fades. Discipline needs structure. Build routines that make it easier to win. Schedule your priorities. Remove distraction. Set clear boundaries with people and environments that pull you away from your goal. Discipline grows stronger when supported by structure. Without it, you will always fall back into old patterns. One of the greatest feelings in life is seeing a bold goal come true. Not because it was easy, but because you know the price you paid in daily effort. The sense of achievement that comes from discipline is deeper than anything else. It's not luck, it's not chance, it's the result of your consistency. That kind of achievement builds a new standard in your life. Once you reach one bold goal, you realize you can aim even higher. Discipline gives you proof that you can trust yourself with bigger challenges. The relationship with goals and discipline is simple. Bold goals inspire you. Daily discipline transforms you. Bold goals pull you forward. Daily discipline keeps you steady. If you have one without the other, you fail. With both, you succeed. That is how obsession with success is. You wake up with a bold vision, and you live with the discipline to make it real no matter how long it takes. You must also learn to track your discipline. What gets measured improves. Keep record of your actions. Did you follow through today? Did you complete the work? Did you honor your commitment? Tracking creates accountability. You can't lie to yourself if the record is clear, and accountability sharpens discipline. You feel the pride of progress when you see it, and you correct yourself when you fall short. When you live this way, others will notice. They may call you obsessed. They may say you're too serious. That's fine. Obsession with bold goals and daily discipline is not a weakness. It's a strength. It separates those who drift from those who achieve. It proves that you value your life enough to demand more from yourself. Most people never experience this level of intensity, which is why they settle. But if you want success, you cannot settle. You must demand the best from yourself every day. Remember, bold goals are not just about achievement. They are about growth. The person you become while chasing a bold goal is more important than the goal itself. Discipline shapes your character. It gives you resilience, confidence, and strength. Even if the goal changes, the discipline remains, and that discipline will serve you for life. So decide today to set goals that scare you and excite you. Decide today that you will back them up with relentless daily discipline. Refuse to shrink your life down to small dreams. Refuse to waste another day without progress. Build the identity of someone who chases bold goals with steady effort. Success will not resist that kind of person. It will reward them. If you commit to this way of living, a new life will open you. You will feel more alive. You will wake up with purpose. You will go to bed with pride. And one day you will look back and realize that the life you once imagined has become the life you are living. That is the power of bold goals, sustained every single day by discipline. Number 4, train your mind and block out every negative influence. If you want to be obsessed with success, you must take charge of your mind. Your mind is the command center of your life. And if you allow it to be filled with negativity, doubt, and fear, will control your actions and weaken your results. The truth is that every day, you are surrounded by influences. Some lift you higher, others drag you down. If you don't train your mind to filter what enters, you will absorb the wrong ideas, and those ideas will quietly destroy your ambition. The battle for success is not only about effort or skill, it is about the quality of your thinking. Training your mind starts with awareness. You must pay attention to the thoughts that enter your head. Ask yourself, are these thoughts empowering me, or are they limiting me? Too often, people allow negative influences to shape their beliefs without even realizing it. They hear discouraging words. They read hopeless news. They absorb the complaints of others. And before long, their own perspective becomes negative. You cannot allow that. You must protect your mind the same way you would protect your health. If you feed your body with junk, it becomes weak. If you feed your mind with negativity, it will fail you in the moments you need strength. Blocking out negative influence does not mean avoiding reality. It means choosing what you give your energy to. There will always be people who doubt you, criticize you, or speak fear into your plan. That is their right. But you don't have to absorb it. You cannot control what others say, but you can control how much attention you give them. Train yourself to ignore voices that add no value. Instead, choose to listen to people who inspire you, people who believe in growth, and people who live with discipline. Your environment will either feed your ambition or starve it. Be wise about who and what you allow close to you. Training your mind also means building strong beliefs. You cannot live with weak beliefs and expect strong results. A belief is a story you tell yourself about what is possible. If your story is small, your actions will be small. If your story is strong, your actions will be bold. Every day, you must reinforce the belief that you are capable, that your efforts matter, and that success is within your reach. These beliefs must be practiced until they become automatic. Negative beliefs are learned, and so are positive ones. If you learned one, you can unlearn it and replace it with another. One powerful way to train your mind is through daily reflection. Take time to sit quietly and examine your thoughts. Ask yourself where they are coming from. If you catch yourself thinking you are not good enough, question, where did that belief come from? Is it based on facts? Or is it just something you picked up from others? Challenge negative thinking with evidence from your own life. You have overcome struggles before. You have grown stronger than you used to be. You have succeeded in ways you once thought were impossible. Remind yourself of these truths, because they are the proof that you can continue moving forward. Another tool to train your mind is intentional input. Fill your head with the right knowledge and the right voice. Read books that expand your perspective. Listen to people who teach discipline and growth. Study the lives of those who achieved what you want. This input creates a new standard in your mind. If you constantly consume negativity, you will think negative. If you constantly consume strength, you will think stronger. Your input shapes your mindset more than you realize. Make it a daily habit to feed your mind with content that builds you. Blocking negative influence also applies to the conversations you allow yourself to join. Gossip, complaining, and constant negativity may feel harmless, but they poison your focus. Every time you sit in those conversations, you are giving away your energy. That energy could have gone into building your skills or chasing your goal. Train yourself to walk away from such discussions or shift them into something useful. If someone is always negative, Limit your time with them. Protecting your mind sometimes means creating distance. It's not about being rude. It's about being responsible with your future. When you train your mind to block negativity, you will notice a change in how you feel. Your confidence will grow. Your focus will sharpen. You will no longer be weighed down by the doubts of others. Instead, you will feel stronger, lighter, and more determined. Success requires mental clarity, and clarity only comes when you clear out the noise. You must make your mind a space where your goals can thrive, not a battlefield where negative influences constantly win. It is also important to guard against your own inner negativity. Sometimes the loudest critic is not outside, it's inside. Your own doubts and fears can become the biggest negative influence if you don't train your mind to handle them. The way to silence that inner critic is through action. When you take consistent daily dials, you prove to yourself that progress is possible. Action silences doubt. Every small victory tells your mind, I can do this. Over time, your inner voice becomes an ally instead of an enemy. Mental training also requires consistency. You cannot do it once and expect lasting change. Just as your body needs daily exercise, your mind needs daily conditioning. Start the morning by choosing what kind of thoughts you will allow. Throughout the day, stay aware of what you are absorbing. At night, review your progress and adjust. Over weeks and months, your mental strength will grow. You will notice that negativity no longer has the same hold on you. You will feel in control of your mind, and that control is priceless. When your mind is trained and negativity is blocked, obsession with success becomes natural. You no longer waste energy fighting doubt or feeding distractions. All of your energy is directed toward growth, learning, and action. This alignment between mind and behavior creates massive progress. You start living with a sharp sense of purpose. You see opportunities others miss because their minds are clouded. You take actions others avoid when their fears control them. A trained mind is the foundation of all achievement. So decide today to take control. Refuse to allow negative influences to dictate your life. Refuse to live under the weight of doubt and fear. Build your mind into a tool that works for you, not against you. Train it daily, protect it fiercely, and feed it wisely. This single choice will transform the way you live and will push you closer to the success you want. Your future depends on the quality of your thoughts. Guard them, strengthen them, and never allow negativity to rob you of the life you are capable living. That is how you train your mind and block out every negative influence. That is how you become unstoppable in your pursuit of success. Number 5, push harder when life gets tough and pressure builds. When life gets difficult, most people slow down. They pull back, they hesitate, they look for escape. But if you want to be obsessed with success, you must do the opposite. The moment life puts pressure on you is the exact moment. Push harder. Pressure is not a signal to quit. It is a test of how much you really want what you say you want. Everyone can work when things are smooth, when the path is clear, when results come easily. The true measure of character is how you perform when things get heavy, when the progress slows, and when challenges surround you from every direction. Hard times are not accidents. They come for everyone. You cannot build strength without resistance. You cannot grow discipline without struggle. Success is not designed to come freely. It is designed to be earned under pressure. That is why, when life gets tough, you must shift your mindset. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I build inside myself from this? That single shift puts you in control. You stop feeling like a victim, and you start acting like a fighter. Fighters don't wait for pressure to pass. They rise through it. Pushing harder under pressure means doing more than what feels comfortable. Comfort will tell you to ease up. It will whisper that you've already done enough, that maybe you deserve to stop, that maybe success is not worth it. But you cannot afford to listen. When you give in to that voice, you lose momentum. And momentum is the lifeblood of progress. Instead, you must learn to recognize that voice and deliberately go against it. If your body says stop, push one more step. If your mind says take a break, finish the task first. Each time you override weakness, You strengthen your will. There is a kind of growth that only happens when things are heavy. Think about it. Nobody develops patience when life is easy. Nobody builds resilience when every plan works perfectly. Nobody develops toughness without being tested. The value of pressure is that it introduces you to a stronger version of yourself, one you didn't know was there. That version does not show up when you avoid the struggle. It only shows up when you stay in it, when you refuse to give less than your best, even while feeling the weight of life. One of the greatest truths is that pressure creates separation. It separates those who are interested in success from those who are committed to it. Many people are committed only until life gets hard. When pressure arrives, they fold. They start searching for excuses. They settle back into comfort. But those who are obsessed with success make a different decision. They push harder. They see pressure as proof that they are on the right path. They welcome the test because they know that every step forward, under pressure, earns them growth that no easy path could ever provide. To live this way, you must prepare yourself mentally. Don't expect life to be easy. Expect the opposite. Expect delays, challenges, rejections, and failure. Expect moments where everything feels stacked against you. When you expect these moments, you will not be shocked when they appear. You will be ready to face them. And instead of collapsing, you will rise. That is the psychology of someone who lasts long enough to win. Another important point is to control your response. Pressure makes many people panic. They react emotionally, make poor decisions, and waste energy on frustration. But when you train yourself to stay calm under pressure, you give yourself an advantage. Calm does not mean passive. Calm means focused. Calm means keeping your eyes on the goal, even while everything around you feels unstable. This calmness allows you to keep working, to keep pushing, and to keep taking steps forward while others freeze. When pressure builds, your discipline must become stronger than your feelings. Feelings will shift constantly. One day you may feel motivated. The next day you may feel drained. If you let feelings control your actions, you will never achieve lasting success. Discipline is what keeps you steady. Discipline is the decision to push forward regardless of mood, regardless of circumstance. If you only work when you feel like it, pressure will defeat you every time. But if you train yourself to work even when it feels hard, pressure will lose its power over you. Think of the satisfaction you will feel when you overcome a moment of struggle by pushing harder versus of giving in. That pride builds trust in yourself. It tells you that you are stronger than you thought, and that self-trust is the real foundation of success. Once you know you can handle pressure, future challenges stop intimidating you. You walk into them with courage, because you have already proved to yourself that you can endure and rise. Pushing harder also requires practical action. Break down the problem in front of you. Don't get lost in the weight of the whole situation. Focus on the next step you can take. Small progress under pressure is still progress. In fact, it is the most important kind of progress, because it happens when most people stop. That single step creates momentum, and momentum builds strength. Over time, those small steps compound into breakthroughs. When life gets tough, it is also critical to stay connected to your reasons. Why are you chasing success? Why does it matter to you? If your reason is shallow, pressure will crush you. If your reason is deep, pressure will fuel you. Remind yourself the future you want, the people you want to take care of, the life you want to build. Let that vision push you through the hard moments. A strong why makes every how possible. You must also recognize that pushing harder doesn't always mean working longer hours. Sometimes it means working smarter, adjusting your strategy, and staying persistent. Pressure can expose flaws in your approach. That is not a signal to quit. It is a signal to learn. Step back, review, and then attack again with more intelligence. That combination of persistence and adaptability is what keeps you moving forward while others stop. There is a powerful shift that happens when you stop running from pressure and start winning. You begin to see obstacles as opportunities to prove your strength. You stop fearing difficulty and start embracing it as part of the process. This mindset transforms your relationship with struggle. Instead of slowing you down, it pushes you to rise. And that is exactly what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who never escape mediocrity. Every time you choose to push harder under pressure, you are building a new identity. You are becoming someone who does not fold when life gets heavy. You are becoming someone who can be trusted to endure. You are becoming the kind of person success cannot ignore, because success always finds the ones who keep moving when it would have been easier to stop. So when the days get heavy, when the pressure builds, when the path feels hard, remember this truth. That is the time to push hard. That is the time to prove yourself. That is the time to show that your obsession with success is stronger than any obstacle in your way. Do this, and you will not only reach your goals, you will become the kind of person who is unstoppable in every part of life. Number 6, stay consistent and prove your actions match your vision. Consistency is the bridge between your vision and your results. Everyone can dream. Everyone can talk about goals. Everyone can describe the life they want. But only a few are willing to prove their vision with daily action, day after day, long after the excitement fades. Vision without consistency is only imagination. Vision with consistency becomes reality. Consistency means showing up regardless of how you feel. It means your commitment doesn't change with your mood. You don't work only when motivated. You don't chase your goals only when convenient. You make a decision that your actions will always align with your vision. This is where most people fail. They create a vision board. They write their goals down. But then they let their habits contradict those goals. They talk out health, but skip the workout. They talk about wealth, but waste hours in distraction. They talk about building a future, but avoid the hard work. That gap between their vision and their actions is the reason they stay stuck. To stay consistent, you must live with integrity to your own word. Integrity means that what you say matches what you do. If you say you want to be successful, your calendar must show it. Your hours must prove it. Your lifestyle must reflect it. When you are consistent, you build trust with yourself. You stop being someone who breaks promises, and you become someone who follows through. That shift changes your psychology. Every day you prove yourself to yourself. You strengthen your confidence and your belief. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about persistence. You don't need to do everything flawlessly. You need to keep showing up and doing the work, even if it's messy, even if it's difficult. Small progress made daily adds up to massive results over time. Most people give up because they expect results too quickly. They want instant rewards. But consistency requires patience. You plant seeds every day, and eventually the harvest comes. The key is to keep planting even on days when nothing seems to be growing. Another truth is that consistency is built through structure. You cannot rely on motivation to carry you. Motivation is temporary. Some days you'll feel strong, other days you'll feel tired. If you base your work only on feelings, you'll fail. Build routines that lock you into action. Structure your mornings to start with discipline. Schedule your priorities. Remove easy exits from your environment. When you create systems that support your vision, consistency becomes natural. Discipline and consistency are partners. Discipline is the decision. Consistency is the repetition. One without the other is incomplete. Discipline says, I will do it. Consistency proves, I am doing it every day. Each time you follow through, you reinforce the cycle. Soon, it becomes a lifestyle. What once felt hard becomes normal. What once required effort becomes automatic. That is the real reward of consistency. It transforms your habits until success becomes a natural result of who you are. Consistency also protects you from regret. Think of the pain of looking back and realizing you stopped too soon. That pain is heavier than the discomfort of discipline. When you stay consistent, you eliminate the possibility of regret, because you know you gave your all. Even if results take longer than expected, you can stand with confidence, knowing your actions matched your vision. That kind of peace is worth every ounce of effort. You must also understand that consistency compounds. One day of work may not change much. 10 days may not feel significant, but 100 days, 1 year, 3 years of consistent effort, let's create results that look like miracles to outsiders. People will say you are lucky, but it will not be luck. It will be the product of years of showing up, while others quit. That is how the gap between average and extraordinary is created. Not in one giant step, but in thousands of small, consistent steps. The challenge is that consistency is often boring. It's not glamorous to repeat the same actions day after day. That is why so many people fail. They chase excitement instead of results. But if you want success, you must fall in love with repetition. You must learn to value routine. You must understand that greatness is built in the daily grind, not in occasional bursts of energy. Consistent. And boredom becomes your ally, because it means you are doing the work others avoid. To strengthen your consistency, connect your daily actions to your larger vision. Don't see them as small tasks. See them as proof of your future. When you wake up early, remind yourself that this is how leaders start their day. When you study, remind yourself that this is how knowledge is built. When you save money, remind yourself that this is how wealth grows. Each small action is a brick in the house of your future. See it that way, and you will stay consistent. Accountability also increases consistency. Share your goals with people who will hold you to your standards. Surround yourself with individuals who value discipline. If you stay around people who quit easily, you will adopt their habit. But if you stay around those who demand progress, you will rise to match their level. Choose your environment, because it will either support your consistency or destroy it. Consistency is not just about doing, it is also about becoming. Every day you stay consistent, you are shaping your identity. You are proving that you are not just a dreamer. You are a doer. You are proving that your vision is not empty talk. It is a real standard for how you live. That identity gives you strength. It tells you, I am the kind of person who follows through. Once that becomes your identity, inconsistency no longer fits who you are. When you live with consistency, life rewards you in ways you cannot always predict. Opportunities come because people see your reliability. Growth comes because your habits compound. Confidence grows because you know you can trust yourself. And success arrives because you stayed the course long enough for the seeds to mature. None of this happens overnight. It happens because day after day, you proved your actions matched your vision. So make a choice right now. Don't just talk about your vision. Live it. Don't just write it down. Act on it. Don't just wait for motivation. Create discipline. Stay consistent, even when nobody is watching, even when progress feels slow, even when it gets boring. Because consistency is the proof that separates wishful thinking from real success. And when you give that proof every day, you become unstoppable. Number 7. Learn quickly and apply knowledge to grow every day. Success does not only belong to the hardest worker, it belongs to the one who learns faster, adapts faster, and applies what they discover without delay. Knowledge is everywhere today. You can read it, listen to it, watch it, but none of it will matter unless you take it and turn it into action. Too many people gather information, but never do anything with it. They become professional learners, but their lives never change because they don't apply what they learn. The real difference maker is speed, learning quickly and applying it immediately so that growth happens every single day. Every day brings lessons if you are willing to see them. A conversation can teach you. A failure can teach you. A book can teach you. A challenge can teach you. But the key is your attitude. Do you approach each day with the mindset of a student? Do you ask yourself, what can I take from this moment that will help me improve? Most people don't. They repeat the same mistakes because they never reflect, never adjust, never grow. They experience life but don't learn from it. If you want success, you must become intentional about learning. The faster you learn, the faster you adapt. In today's world, things change quickly. If you hold on to outdated ways of thinking, you get left behind. If you resist new ideas, you block your own growth. The people who rise are those who can take in new information, process it, and immediately put it into practice. They don't just nod their heads at advice, they test it. They don't just underline quotes in books. They apply the principles. They don't just listen to mentors, they change their behavior based on the guidance. That speed of application is what builds momentum. Learning quickly does not mean rushing. It means focusing on the essentials. Don't try to know everything at once. Instead, identify what knowledge will give you the biggest return on your effort. Prioritize the lessons that directly move you toward your goals. If you want to build wealth, study money. If you want to master health, study nutrition and exercise. If you want leadership, study influence and communication. Success comes when you zero in on the knowledge that matters most, and then put it to use every single day. Application is what separates achievers from talkers. Think about how many people have read about discipline, yet live without it. Think about how many people have heard about saving money, yet remain broke. Think about how many people know about exercise, yet never take care of their health. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. You must close the gap between what you know and what you do. Every time you learn something new, ask yourself, how can I apply this today? Then take that step immediately. Even if it's small, action makes the knowledge stick. Growth is a result of applied learning. When you apply, you gain experience. Experience deepens your understanding. Experience shows you what works and what doesn't, and that feedback helps you adjust and grow further. This cycle, learn, apply, reflect, adjust, should be repeated every day. If you do this, your growth compounds. You become smarter, stronger, and more capable than those who only consume knowledge passively. Part of learning quickly is humility. You must be willing to admit you don't know everything. Pride blocks learning. If you think you already know enough, you stop growing. The truth is, no matter how much you've achieved, there is always more to learn. The most successful people are often the most humble learners. They ask questions, they seek advice, they listen carefully, they test ideas. They don't let ego get in the way of progress. If you want to grow daily, you must remain open to new lessons. Another part of growth is learning from failure. Every mistake holds information. When something doesn't work, don't hide from it, examine it. Ask yourself why it failed. What decision led to the result? What can be done differently next time? If you analyze your failures, you will improve faster than those who ignore them. Failure becomes a teacher only when you pay attention. Those who learn from setbacks and keep applying adjustments eventually outperform those who never take risks. You also need to learn from people smarter than you. Seek mentors, coaches, or role models. Learn from their years of experience. Their lessons can save you time, energy, and pain. But again, don't just listen, act. If they suggest a habit, implement it. If they warn against a mistake, avoid it. If they recommend a strategy, test it. The value of guidance is not in hearing it, but in living it. Every successful person can point to lessons they applied for mowers. Be wise enough to do the same. Daily growth requires consistency. Make it a non-negotiable to learn and apply something each day. Even if it's one idea, one skill, one reflection, apply it. Imagine where you would be a year from now if you did this daily. 365 small lessons, applied in action, would transform your mind, your skills, and your life. Most people underestimate this power. They look for giant leaps instead of small daily steps. But obsession with success is built on those daily applications of knowledge. The satisfaction of applying knowledge is powerful. When you act on what you learn, you feel progress, you feel control, you feel growth. This builds motivation to continue. In contrast, when you only consume information without act, you feel overwhelmed, you feel stuck, you feel like nothing changes. That is why many people keep reading self-help, but stay the same. They never cross the line into consistent application. Don't fall into that trap. Value action as much as knowledge. If you want proof that your actions match your learning, track your growth. Keep a journal of what you learned each day and what action you took from it. Review it weekly. You will see patterns. You will notice progress. You will catch areas where you still avoid applying. That awareness makes you strong. Tracking your applied knowledge is like keeping score with yourself. It shows if you're truly living what you claim to know. Being obsessed with success means you cannot afford to waste time on unlearned lessons or unused knowledge. Every day is a chance to become wiser, stronger, more skilled. Every day is a chance to sharpen your mind and advance your life. If you ignore this, you stay the same. If you embrace it, you rise above. Life rewards those who grow daily, not those who wait for growth to come by chance. So decide now that you will learn quickly and apply immediately. Be a student of life, but not a passive one. Take what you learn and put it into practice until it becomes part of who you are. Push yourself to extract a lesson from every situation. Challenge yourself to act on it the same day. Over time, these small daily improvements will add up to extraordinary results. And when you look back, you will see that the secret was not in knowing more than others, but in applying faster and growing every single day. Number 8, surround yourself with driven people who demand your best. Your environment shapes your thinking, your habits, and your energy more than you realize. If you spend time with people who have no ambition, who complain about everything, who avoid discipline, you will slowly absorb their mindset. It may not happen overnight, but day by day you will begin to lower your standard. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are driven, who hold themselves to high expectations, and who demand the best from you, you will rise to their level. Human beings naturally adapt to the environment they are in. If your environment is weak, you become weaker. If your environment is strong, you become stronger. Driven people are not satisfied with average results. They are not looking for excuses. They are looking for solutions. They don't spend time blaming others or waiting for life to get easy. They spend their time building, learning, and pushing themselves forward. When you are around people like that, their energy challenges you. It forces you to look at your own habits. It makes you uncomfortable with laziness. It inspires you to improve. That is why the right people in your circle are not just a good idea. They are essential. If you want to succeed, the people closest to you influence how you think. If you are around complainers, you begin to see problems everywhere. If you are around negative thinkers, you begin to doubt yourself. If you are around procrastinators, you begin to delay your own work. But if you are around ambitious people, you begin to think bigger. If you are around disciplined people, you become more disciplined. If you are around high achievers, you raise your own standards. You cannot escape this truth. You will always be influenced by those you spend the most time with. That is why you must be intentional about your association. Do not allow friendship, convenience, or habit to decide who shapes your life. Choose people who are serious about progress. Choose people who inspire you to do more. Choose people who live with standards higher than yours, so that you feel the need to rise. If you want to run faster, spend time with those already running ahead of you. If you want to think sharper, spend time with those who already think at a higher level. The company you keep can either hold you back or push you forward. Being around driven people also builds accountability. When you are with those who demand your best, they will not let you settle for excuses. They will notice when you are slipping. They will call you out when your actions don't match your words. That accountability may feel uncomfortable, but it is priceless. Many people avoid it because they don't want to be challenged. But if you want to grow, you must welcome it. Accountability keeps you honest. It keeps you sharp. It ensures that your vision is not just talk, but is backed up by real effort. You must also learn to let go of people who drain you. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people will discourage you because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Some will laugh at your goals because they gave up on theirs. Some will pull you back into old habits because they don't want to be left behind. It is not your job to lower yourself to keep them comfortable. If you want to rise, you must create space for people who lift you higher. That means cutting ties with those who constantly pull you down. It's not cruelty, it's survival for your future. Surrounding yourself with driven people doesn't mean you will never feel weak again. It means that even on your weak days, you will be lifted by the strength of others. Their habits will remind you of what is possible. Their drive will challenge you to keep going. Their success will prove to you that hard work pays off. When you are part of an environment where excellence is the norm, it becomes harder for you to accept anything less from yourself. It is also important to understand that being around driven people requires you to bring value to. You cannot simply attach yourself to ambitious people without contributing. You must also be serious about growth. You must be willing to give as much as you take. Driven people respect effort. They respect discipline. They respect progress. If you show them you are committed, they will include you. If you show them you are lazy or careless, they will distance themselves. To stay in the circle of ambitious people, you must live up to the standard. Ask yourself honestly, who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Do they inspire you, or do they drain you? Do they push you to grow, or do they keep you small? Do they make you feel stronger, or they make you feel weaker? Your answers to these questions will reveal why your life looks the way it does. If your circle is strong, you will rise with them. If your circle is weak, you will sink with them. When you surround yourself with driven people, something else happens. You begin to believe more in yourself. You see their examples and realize they are not superhuman. They are simply consistent, disciplined, and focused. That realization breaks your excuses. It tells you, if they can do it, I can too. And that belief is powerful. Many people never succeed because they don't believe it's possible for them. Being around proof in the form of real people changes them. The truth is, success is not meant to be a lonely journey. Yes, you must miss responsibility for yourself, but you also need the right environment. No one builds greatness in isolation. The right people will challenge you, encourage you, and walk beside you. They will share ideas, open doors, and keep you sharp. They will celebrate your wins and push you through your struggles. If you are serious about success, this is the environment you must build around yourself. So make the choice today. Choose your circle with the same seriousness you choose your goals. Protect your environment as much as you protect your time. Remove people who win you and replace them with people who strengthen you. Seek out those who live with ambition, who push boundaries, who expect more from themselves and from you. Surround yourself with driven people who demand your best, and soon you will discover that your best becomes your normal. When that happens, success is no longer a question of if, it becomes a matter of when. Number 9. Track progress daily and adjust actions to stay sharp. You cannot wake up every day doing the same actions without knowing if they are working. Success is not random. It is the result of measuring, adjusting, and sharpening yourself constantly. The people who rise the highest are not just disciplined. They are aware. They know exactly where they stand, and they are honest enough to measure their progress daily. Tracking progress is not about perfection. It is about clarity. Without clarity, you waste time repeating mistakes. With clarity, you know exactly what is moving you forward and what is holding you back. Tracking daily progress builds accountability. When you record your actions, you cannot lie to yourself. You cannot say you worked hard if the record shows hours wasted. You cannot say you are consistent if the proof shows you skipped too many days. Most people avoid tracking because it forces them to face the truth. But truth is the foundation of growth. If you don't know where you are, how can you know where you need to go? Daily tracking shines a light on your behavior. It exposes weakness, and it confirms strength. That awareness is what allows you to make real changes. When you track your progress, you create a feedback loop. Every day you review what you did, you see pattern. Maybe you are strong in starting tasks, but weak in finishing them. Maybe you are productive in the morning, but wasteful at night. Maybe you are consistent with one habit, but neglect another. Without tracking, these patterns remain hidden. With tracking, they become obvious. Once you see them, you can adjust. You can plan differently. You can put your energy where it matters most. That is how you stay sharp. Adjusting is just as important as tracking. If you only measure but never change, the measurement is useless. The purpose of progress tracking is not to make you feel good or bad. It is to guide improvement. Every day you ask yourself, what went well and what needs to change? Then you act on it immediately. Maybe you need to wake up earlier. Maybe you need to spend less time on distraction. Maybe you need to change your approach to a task. These adjustments made daily create exponential growth. Small corrections prevent big failures. Staying sharp means you never allow yourself to drift into comfort. You are always evaluating, always improving, always refining your approach. When you track, you catch decline before it becomes failure. You don't wait until the year ends to realize you wasted it. You catch yourself the next day. That is the difference between people who succeed and people who wonder why they never get results. The successful adjust quickly. The unsuccessful repeat mistakes for months and years. Tracking progress daily also builds momentum. When you see the record of your actions, you feel motivated to keep going. Each check mark, each completed task, each small win adds confidence. It becomes visible proof that your efforts matter. On days when you feel discouraged, looking at your progress reminds you that you are not standing still. Progress fuels persistence, and persistence, repeated long enough, brings success. Another benefit of tracking is that it prevents excuses. Without tracking, it is easy to say, "I've been working hard," but when you write it down, you see the truth. Did you really work hard, or did you just stay busy? Did you actually finish, or did you only start? Success is not about being busy. It is about result. Tracking cuts through the illusion of busyness and forces you to focus on effectiveness. That honesty may sting, but it is what keeps you sharp and focused. Daily measurement also teaches patience. Sometimes you won't see big changes just away, but when you track, you notice the small improvements. You notice that you are doing more than you used to. You notice that your habits are improving. These small signals keep you going until the larger results show. Without tracking, you may miss these signs and give up too early. With tracking, you recognize progress even in its smallest form, and that keeps you moving forward. One simple way to track progress is to write down 3 questions every night. What did I do today that moved me closer to my goal? What did I do today that held me back? What will I change tomorrow? Answer these honestly. Over time, your answers will reveal the adjustments you need to make. You will see how your actions align, or don't, with your vision. This daily reflection, combined with consistent adjustment, sharpens you like nothing else. Success is not about making giant leaps once in a while. It is about small, consistent improvements made daily. Tracking ensures those improvements are real. Adjusting ensures they are effective. Together, they create growth that compounds. When you commit to this process, you begin to live with awareness. You stop drifting. You stop guessing. You start living intentionally. And intentional living always leads to stronger results. Your obsession with success must include a demand for proof. Don't just say you are working hard. Show yourself the evidence. Don't just believe you are disciplined. Let your daily record confirm it. Don't just assume you are improving. Track it, measure it, and adjust until there is no doubt. This is how you stay sharp in a world that constantly pulls people into distraction and weakness. If you want to separate yourself from the average, this is one of the fastest ways. Most people will not track. Most people will not adjust. They will keep repeating the same cycles year after year. But if you commit to this process, you will grow at a pace they cannot match. While they stay the same, you will keep refining, keep improving, and keep advancing. That is how you outgrow your past self and surpass those who never measure their life. So decide today that you will track your progress daily. Decide that you will not hide from the truth. Decide that you will adjust your actions until they align with your vision. Decide that staying sharp is more important than staying comfortable, and then prove it with action every day. Success is not just about hard work. It is about smart work. Tracking and adjusting make your work smarter. And when your work is both hard and smart, success becomes inevitable. Number 10, keep improving and never settle for average results. If you want to live a life of true success, you must adopt one principle that will separate you from most of the world. Keep improving and never settle for average results. Average is easy. Average is everywhere. It is the standard that most people accept without question. But if you are obsessed with success, average cannot satisfy you. You must refuse to treat good enough as the finish line. The moment you accept average, you give away your potential. The moment you decide that what you have is enough, even though you know you could do more, you stop growing. Success is not about one breakthrough. It is about continuous improvement. It is about demanding more from yourself today than you did yesterday, and repeating that standard every day of your life. The problem with average is that it tricks you into comfort. It tells you that you're doing okay, and okay is fine, but okay is not great. Okay does not change your life. Okay does not create freedom. Okay does not build legacy. When you settle for average, you are silently saying that your potential does not matter. You are saying that you are willing to live below your true ability. And the tragedy is that most people live this way. They start with dreams, but somewhere along the path they settle. They stop pushing, stop learning, stop improving. They choose comfort over growth. That is why you must make the decision that you will never accept average as your standard. Continuous improvement begins with self-honesty. You must be willing to evaluate yourself without excuses. Look at your results. Are they the best you can produce, or are they average? Look at your habits. Are they leading you to excellence, or are they keeping you stuck? Look at your growth. Are you moving forward every day, or are you standing still? Most people avoid this kind of self-examination because it is uncomfortable. But without it, you cannot improve. Improvement starts with facing the truth about where you are, then demanding more from yourself. The power of constant improvement is that it compounds. Small progress made daily adds up to massive results over time. If you improve even a little each day, your future becomes unrecognizable in a few years. But the opposite is also true. If you accept average today, it becomes easier to accept average tomorrow. And soon mediocrity becomes your entire life. Improvement requires effort, but effort is the price of greatness. Every day you either rise or decline. You never stay exactly the same. By choosing improvement, you ensure you are always rising. Never settling also means raising your standards. What was once your best must eventually become your new normal. You cannot stay with what you achieved last year or last month. Celebrate it, yes, but then ask, what's next? How can I do better? How can I sharpen myself further? Success is not about reaching one goal and stopping. It is about creating a life where growth never ends. If you want to stand out, you must set standards that are higher than what average people accept. That standard will drive your behavior and shape your comfort. Improvement is not always about doing more. Often it is about doing better. It is about refining your skills, deepening your understanding, and increasing the quality of your work. Anyone can stay busy. Anyone can repeat the same actions year after year. But if you are serious about success, you don't just repeat, you refine. You ask yourself, how can I be more effective? How can I save same? How can I add more value? That pursuit of excellence is what transforms effort into achievement. You also improve by learning continuously. The moment you stop learning, you start declining. Knowledge is advancing. Opportunities are changing. Changes are evolving. If you are not upgrading yourself, you are falling behind. Improvement requires you to stay curious, to read, to study, to ask questions, to seek mentors, to test new ideas. The people who grow the fastest are those who never believe they have arrived. They remain students for life. That humility keeps them improving, while others remain stuck in outdated ways. Never settling for average also requires courage. Average is safe. It is predictable. It does not draw criticism. But striving for more will make people question you. They will call you obsessed. They will say you are never satisfied. They will try to pull you back to their level. That is the cost of excellence. You must be willing to be misunderstood by those who accept mediocrity. You must be willing to keep improving, even when others think you already have enough. This courage is what separates leaders from followers, builders from mimlaners, achievers from dreamers. Improvement must be measured. You cannot improve what you do not track. Set clear goals for your growth. Measure your progress in skills, in habits, in result. Review your actions daily and ask yourself if they are producing excellence or mediocrity. When you track, you expose the areas where you are slipping into average. Then you adjust. This constant cycle of measuring and adjusting keeps you sharp. It prevents you from becoming complacent. It ensures that every day you are closer to your best. The reward of never settling is fulfillment. There is no satisfaction like the feeling of knowing you gave everything, that you pushed yourself, that you grew beyond who you were yesterday. Average people live with regret because they know deep inside they yet done more. Those who keep improving live with pride because they know they demanded their best. That pride builds confidence. It builds momentum. It builds a life worth living. Ask yourself now, are you improving or are you settling? Are you chasing your highest potential? Or are you making peace with average? If the answer is uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the start of change. Use it to fuel your decision to raise your standards and to refuse mediocrity in every part of your life. From this day forward, demand more from yourself. In health, in work, in relationships, in growth. Every area of your life deserves your best effort, not just an average attempt. Success is not an accident. It is the natural outcome of people who improve daily and refuse to settle. It belongs to those who wake up with a hunger for more, not for more possessions, but for more growth, more discipline, more contribution, more strength. That hunger is what hits you alive. It keeps you moving forward when others stop. It keeps you sharp when others relax. It keeps you climbing while others settle at the bottom. So make this rule for yourself. Never settle for average results. Average may be common, but it is not for you. Improvement is your standard. Excellence is your expectation. Growth is your daily requirement. If you live this way, success will not just be a possibility. It will be a certainty. Because success always finds those who keep improving and refuse to accept less than their best. So here's the truth. How to be obsessed with success is not just a lesson. It's a decision. Either you choose to live like everyone else, settling for average, or you choose to give everything you've got until your vision becomes real. Success is not complicated, but it demands that you stay hungry, stay disciplined, and never stop improving. If today's message struck a nerve, don't just dust this video and go back to old habits. Take one action right now that proves you're serious. Because the people who change their lives are not the ones who only listen. They're the ones who act. And if you're ready to keep building this success for success day after day, then make sure you come back for the next video. Each one is designed to push you, challenge you, and help you reach your full potential. Your journey has just begun.